The big story coming out of Tamil Nadu, Saikala has gone to pay respects to former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa at the Marina Beach Memorial. Saikala is set to take over as AIADMK's General Secretary. Meanwhile, leaders of opposition parties in Tamil Nadu have demanded a probe into the mysterious circumstances around which former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa passed away. The DMK is also demanding that a probe under a High Court judge be set up. In fact, DMK leader Vijayakanth has also demanded that video footage from the hospital be made public so that doubts can be cleared. M.K leader Ramadoss said a CBI investigation should be ordered to bring out the truth. This after the Madras High Court Justice Vijayakanth raised doubts about the leader's last days in a hearing yesterday. The court has also issued notice to the Prime Minister's office, state authorities and Apollo Hospital chairman. We have Pramod Madhav, our correspondent, who's with us live. Pramod, take us through what's happening there in Chennai. A massive procession there being led by Saikala as she gets ready to take over as the General Secretary of the AIADMK tomorrow. Well, we're going to try and reconnect with Pramod Madhav. These are visuals that we're getting you from Marina Beach in Chennai. We're being told that Saikala is at the Marina Beach Memorial that's been built for former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa. Saikala supporters, they're gathering there in large numbers. Saikala paying respects to former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa. She is expected to take over as AIADMK's General Secretary tomorrow. A show of strength by Saikala's supporters there in Chennai. A close aide of former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa. She's accompanied by Chief Minister Homage Selvan. The duo on their way to the Jaya Memorial on Marina Beach to pay respects. This is a show of strength by Saikala. Her authority has been questioned by several people, including the opposition parties in Tamil Nadu, the DMK and PMK, also Vijayakanth coming together to question the circumstances leading up to Jayalalitha's death. In fact, they've also demanded that video footage from Apollo Hospital be made public. These are visuals that we're getting you from Chennai. A show of strength by Saikala, who is set to take over as the General Secretary of the party tomorrow. We have Pramod Madhav, who's back with us on the phone line. Pramod, this is a show of strength by Saikala. She's set to take over as the General Secretary of the AIADMK, and the number of people who've gathered there at the Marina Beach are there to show that she's a popular choice. Pramod, can you hear me? Pramod, can you hear me? I'm afraid we are facing some trouble on that line with Pramod Madhav, our correspondent. Pictures on your screens are of Jayalalitha's close aide, Saikala, paying respects to the former Chief Minister. She's accompanied by top leaders of the AIADMK and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Homage Selvan. The group has come to pay respects to former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa, who passed away earlier this month. Saikala set to take over as General Secretary of the party tomorrow. This is a big show of strength by supporters of Jayalalithaa, who are holding up Amma pictures and postcards, also showing a big victory sign. Now, we do know there's been a battle that's been raging on in Tamil Nadu, where people have been questioning the circumstances leading up to Jayalalitha's death. Her niece has also come out and raised questions about how her illness was kept under wraps and crucial decisions were taken by Saikala alone without consulting anyone. In fact, rebel AIADMK MP Saikala Pushpa has also questioned why no one was allowed to meet the Chief Minister in her last days. She's also questioned how the decisions were taken alone by Sasikala without consulting the family. Coming out of Tamil Nadu this evening, Sasikala went to Marina Beach to pay respects to former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa. She was accompanied by senior AIADMK leaders and Chief Minister O. Selvan. Sasikala is set to take over as the General Secretary of the AIADMK tomorrow. An emotional Sasikala there paying respects to the former Chief Minister as she's accompanied by her supporters. We have our correspondents Akshay Nath and Pramod Madhav who are with us on the phone line. Pramod, this is a show of strength of sorts for Sasikala. There are several people who've questioned as to why she's being allowed to take over the reins after Jayalalitha's death. But the number of people who've gathered here clearly goes on to prove that she has emerged as a popular choice in the party.
Well, we have to say it in such a way that Sasikala decided to come and pay homage to the leaders of AIADMK, Anna Durai, NGR and Jayalalithaa. She started with Jayalalithaa and Anna Durai, and then third she went for NGR. And what she is doing right here is that this is kind of like a regular practice. Jayalalithaa used to go to Periyar's, Anna's and then NGR before they once again becoming a general secretary of the party during this every year's election. And what she's doing right, as you could see, it was like she has shown that how close she was to Jayalalithaa. She went to the place, fell on the ground, and she literally broke into tears. And the group that was actually here were like the entire MLAs were here. And also the people who came to see Jayalalitha's memorial were also here. Everyone was like silent to see Sasikala, who's a person who was always behind the scenes to come over here. She was also accompanied by OPS, Sampidurai and everybody. And when you ask about this popularity of Sasikala inside the party, there is still a lot of discrepancy because the party holders, they say that they want her to be the next General Secretary and in fact the Chief Minister hopefully also. But when the party cadres, they are still not aware of who Sasikala is because she has not yet interacted with the party cadres of the lower region because Jayalalithaa was the only person they knew on the lower level of the ladder. They knew Jayalalithaa. They voted for Jayalalitha's voice and her picture and her might and charisma. And now we have Sasikala, who was from behind the screen all this while, and now she's going to take hold of the party. The cadres are still not yet completely in a state to accept her. But now the ministers and other office bearers are pushing them. They are stating that Sasikala is the General Secretary and they have to be loyal to her so that the party does not break. That is the view of the party now.
Right, Pramod, stay on with us. We also have Akshay who's with us on the phone line. Akshay, on one hand, Sasikala getting ready to take over the reins of the AIADMK. On the other hand, you have the opposition questioning the circumstances that led up to Jayalalitha's death and raising a question mark about the secrecy that was maintained, particularly by Sasikala as she was in charge.
Well, it is well known that the former Chief Minister Jayalalithaa had spent close to 73 days in the hospital, and throughout the stay, everything was under the wraps. Though the questions were raised by public, PILs were filed, everything was quashed. And the only decision maker that all of us know about is Saikala Natarajan, who was inside the hospital. And yes, all of us know that for a fact she has been the closest aide of Jayalalithaa. And she was the one who was present throughout the journey. And every time Dr. Selvam and the other bureaucrats used to visit Jayalalithaa at the hospital premises, everything used to go through Sasikala is something that we've been told time and again. So now the whole question is like after 73 days in the hospital, if Jayalalithaa would have returned home healthy, things would have been different. But once with the kind of scenario that we have now, the public are in a questioning mode. Most of them have been raising questions about why was the whole health report under the wraps. If Chief Minister Jayalalithaa was so serious, who were the ones responsible for keeping the news away from them? And is there a foul play that has been going on? Is the kind of question that they're raising. And that is also one of the reasons why Saikala Natarajan, who's now...
All right, Akshay, I'm afraid we've completely run out of time. We're going to leave it there. Akshay and Pramod, thanks so much for getting us updates from the ground.